don't want to come at this conversation.
I'm sure they do, sweetheart. I'm sure they do. You know what else would help you? Getting another job.
A $25 million makeup empire, a $1,600 cry for help, one beauty mogul who decided to burn his remaining career to the ground over a sum of money that is the literal mathematical equivalent of a penny to his net worth. James Charles is back in the trenches, and this time it is entirely self-inflicted. It all started when Spirit Airlines filed for bankruptcy, instantly wiping out over 17,000 jobs without warning. Among those suddenly left stranded was a flight employee named Amber Vargas. Desperate and trying to survive a massive corporate shutdown, Amber did what thousands of everyday people do in a crisis. She set up a modest GoFundMe for $1,600 to cover her basic living expenses and sent the link to James. Instead of ignoring it like every other mega influencer, James Charles decided to hit record. Sitting there in what looked like a plush, custom luxury bathrobe, he launched into a blindingly toxic tirade.
Yeah, try that. Because in the time that it took you to copy and paste the same message to myself, who you don't follow, by the way, and probably 100 other influencers and celebrities, you could have applied for 100 other jobs, but you didn't because you're a lazy piece of and you're entitled. And you think that influencers and celebrities should fund your life for you.
He put Amber's message on blast, reading it in a mocking, high-pitched tone before screaming into his camera that she was a lazy piece of S and entitled. He yelled at a newly jobless worker to go apply for 100 other jobs, sneering that she was treating him like a personal bank. According to tracking data, the immediate internet backlash was so severe that James was forced to delete the video within hours. The public outrage hit a boiling point because the visual contrast was sickening. James was screaming about a pittance while sitting in a multi-million-dollar mansion. This is a man who previously boasted about spending $745 on purely decorative rocks. He spent nearly half of Amber's entire survival goal on literal stones for aesthetic purposes, yet felt morally superior enough to publicly humiliate her for being broke. The hypocrisy deepens when you look at how James actually views his audience versus how he treats them when he needs something. Right around the time of this explosive tantrum, James posted a hiring call for a social media assistant, but he wasn't offering a standard job application. He demanded that every single applicant submit 3 complete, fully fleshed out creative ideas for his brand before even getting an interview. Tana Mongeau flagged this immediately as idea stealing, requesting free creative labor from millions of fans while refusing to spare a single qualm of his fortune for a worker in a literal emergency. On a subsequent video, James actually sat on camera visibly frowning, complaining that over 260 of his own fans failed to follow his hyper-specific instructions perfectly. He called his own community annoying and accused Gen Z of completely lacking critical thinking.
Yesterday's video being like, oh my god, me, I think I'd be amazing for this. And when I looked through their social accounts, I was like, yeah, honestly, a lot of you guys could be great for this. So I started going through and liking their comments and commenting back to some of the girlies being like, oh my god, yes, like, can't wait for you to apply. Yes, send in your application. Can't wait to see what you come up with. I can't even tell you how many of those girly pops then went and messaged me saying, hi James, I saw your comment, where do I apply? Oh my god, great question. Where do you apply? You fucking don't! Because you're fired! You're not getting the goddamn job. Because clearly, you have zero critical thinking skills, zero intuition, zero ability to problem solve, and now you're annoying me!
Think about the sheer entitlement of that setup. He expects hundreds of his fans to hand over their ideas for free, but when a fan in a crisis reaches out, he claps back with a bitter, welcome to the real world. Does James Charles actually live in the real world? Or has his massive wealth completely destroyed his ability to feel basic human empathy? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now. Tana Mongeau tore into him on her podcast.
Was the most jarring to me was how genuinely mean he was being in the TikTok. And there's something just so, I've never struggled a day in my life about sitting there in a plush terry custom bathrobe, holding the sides of your arms like this, while you make fun of someone so deeply, while you are laughing in the face and screaming. Even if he had just said all of the things that he said in that TikTok, it still would have been an awful, god-awful, horrible take. But I think that the cherry on top of this absolute disgusting cake is that he is sitting there screaming at and making fun of and just being so genuinely mean. It is shocking to me that there are people with that much hoarded wealth that see that and their first thought is not, I can help. That's not their first thought. Their first thought is, how annoying are these people? Like, it's so jarring to me. And I think that, like, your first innate thought being anger,
labeling him mean-spirited, evil, and an imbecile regarding his massive hoard of wealth. Tana laid it out plainly. High-end makeup lines like James's Painted brand operate on predatory 70 to 90% profit margins. Influencers make millions directly off the backs of working-class people buying their products, meaning they owe their audience a shred of basic decency. When the threat to his brand safety grew too heavy, James pulled the classic influencer escape card. He uploaded a frantic apology video, calling his own actions rude, obnoxious, and privileged. But the damage was already done. The ultimate irony? James' hateful video backfired so spectacularly that sympathetic viewers flooded Amber's page, raising over $43,000 for her GoFundMe. Turns out the real world has a lot more heart than James trolls ever will.